व्ययन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक् प्राणश्चक्षुः श्रोत्रमथो बलमेन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मेस्तु तदात्मनि निरते य उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Om. May all my limbs attain strength. May the body, the mind, all the sensory and motor organs and the life force become perfected. All is verily the one without second, ever blissful, ever luminous, ever perfect, existence itself, the Brahman. May I never deny Brahman. May the Brahman never reject me either. May all the virtues spoken of by the scriptures as necessary to attain the experience of Brahman be with me. Om, peace, peace, peace. Let us feel our nature, the luminous spiritual being, immortal being that we are, by removing the apparent distinctions. Because of these apparent, changing, unreal distinctions and resultant separation, we become limited. We become full of insatiable desires. Consequently, miserable. Let us transcend these apparent distinctions, like one looks at the animal crackers. They look different. Different shapes of animals are there, and surely a camel is not the dog, but what is within the camel is also same thing in the dog. Same dough is cast into various shapes. Soon, even children realize that they are all same. The differences are only superficial. So also all the distinctions that we see, I, you, world, this thing, that thing, likes and dislikes, all these are apparent distinctions. All are pervaded with the same one, all pervading blissful existence. As we feel that, you can see all sufferings vanish, all fears disappear. We become bliss itself, peace itself. Om, peace, peace, peace. So this is the 212th class on this ancient, wonderful scripture, which brings up the truths of Upanishads in a very lively, feelingful way. We can see the truth of these through these stories more clearly because they are psychologically related to that. Our mind gets attracted to stories, and thus through stories, when the truths are given, then they become very palatable, although that is the intention is to bring the truth. It is like putting the medication through a hypodermic needle. The medication is inserted inside, the needle comes out. The needle doesn't stay in the muscle, it is taken out, only the medicine gets in. So similarly, the stories are like the needles through which this medicine of the supreme knowledge is inserted. And that is what then does its job. So stories are for just making us get it in us. So the medicine, if you just put on your person, it doesn't go deep. It has to be inserted in the blood. So this is the way to insert it. Put through a needle. Needle goes inside. Through that, the medicine also gets pushed inside. And then the needle comes out, the medicine goes inside, keeps on doing its curative job. So the medicine of this scriptural or Upanishadic knowledge, that knowledge gets in through these very beautifully narrated and enchanting stories. So, and then the story is like the needle stays away, comes out, but the knowledge keeps on working to remove our ignorance and its side effects. So it is, ignorance has its effect. What? That we are all pervading, we are ever blissful, we are peace itself, we are love itself. But look at our lives. We are not everywhere. We are not immortal. We are born, we die. We are suffering all the time, agitated all the time. There is no peace, although by nature we are that. The ignorance of that nature is the reason for this mistaken perception and the resultant the sufferings and loss of peace which is inherent to us. So let us begin the discussion on this story of Saubhari. We began it in the last class, but we will now bring it to conclusion. Let us begin with the regular opening chant, since you have been reciting this chant for 211 previous classes. So now it will be easy for you to recite. So please recite as loudly as you can. Charlie, huh? Yeah, try, Yeah. जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि. That from whom creation, sustenance and dissolution of the universe take place, who is both the instrumental and material cause of it, who is omniscient, is the only one having self-mastery, being the one independent entity, who illumined the mind of Brahma with the Vedic revelation, whose wisdom is the wonder of even the greatest sages, in whom the world of the three gunas subsists just as the combination of materials like fire, water and earth subsist in their causes without changing their elemental nature, in whose consciousness there is nothing false. On that truth supreme we meditate. This truth supreme is the ultimate cause of this world coming up, being born, staying and getting dissolved. So, and it remains the same without any change. The important point here is there is absolutely no change in the reality or God. God remains the same. The appearance keeps on shifting and changing. The world has no effect on God. Let us remember this, that does God have any effect because of the movements in the world? no effect on God. God remains unchanging. But because of that God, all this changing phenomena comes. Without that, we see this, that everything in the world is subject to change. Swami Abhedananda, in his many essays, brought out this point. Many of his lectures, this contains this point, that to understand the change, you have to take stand on something that is unchanging. With respect to that, then you see the change. Like if you are standing on a train station, you get into the train and this train starts moving. How do you know that? Because you see the platform is stable there. Platform is not moving, and therefore you can see the change. So it is only with respect to something that is unchanging that we can see, we can perceive the change. So there is some unchanging reality, and that these Upanishads and all these related Vedanta scriptures, they try to bring to us, that see that unchanging reality and know that you are that. You are that. A very major advice, very important advice for spiritual practice also is, you are that. It is already your reality. So know that God is not somewhere in some heaven, somewhere afar. It is my reality. It is in me. So this knowledge makes us feel this. So this is the meaning here, that the world comes and goes, three gunas. It is in God, but God is not contaminated by what happens in the world. It is the turbulence of the waves do not disturb the ocean. The lot of this bloodshed in a movie doesn't tarnish the screen. So similarly, the God remains without any change. The changes keep on happening in the appearance. So let us remember this. And the changes, they are, many times they very difficult to handle. One change that we were seeing, that in the life of a spiritual aspirant, going with great tenacity to overcome the attractions of the world. The world is full of infinitely many attractions of various types, and every attraction has the capacity to bind us down. And one attraction in which this sage Saubhari, he was in the kingdom of Mandhata. Mandhata, as we saw in earlier couple of classes ago, that it is, Mandhata was endowed with the highest knowledge of the non-dual divine, but still continued to worship the Supreme Being with sacrifice and dedication. So, this Mandhata had three sons, Purukutsa, Ambarisha, and the great yogi Muchakunda. He had 50 daughters too. They all married to Rishi Saubhari, and here is the tale of Saubhari. How did they all got married to this one man? It is this Rishi Saubhari, we saw this last time, was taking a dip in the holy river as he saw the mating couple of fish, and not human beings, but fish. And the desire which is latent in all of us, that although because of the intense spiritual practice and discipline, it gets subdued. But subdued doesn't mean it has gone away. Only the knowledge takes it away. Knowledge of the oneness of the divine takes it away. As soon as one sees separation, I and the world, then I has the craving for the world that comes up. So it can be kept subdued and should be kept subdued through spiritual practice. It is, but one should never think that it is eliminated because of looking at the world, looking at some such people or even the other creatures like fish enjoying, then that desire gets, sprouted, becomes, and without your understanding how it happens, it soon becomes the tree and thus occupies your whole life, and you meet a spiritual ruin. So, and that Rishi Saubhari thought, I should also have a great pleasure like this fish, with this fish couple, he thought, and then, prompted by this desire, Saubhari asked the king Mandhata to give him one of his 50 daughters. Now, the king Mandhata said, who am I to these daughters will decide. I am not, that they are not my property that I give you. It is, let them choose. So, he arranged what is called Swayamvara, that you choose. So all those 50 girls came. Saubhari thought that how can I attract any of the women with my rustic, terrible appearance. So, but through his powers of austerity, now he used those powers not for spiritual evolution, but for getting a nice, beautiful, attractive form. He into a very charming, handsome, beautifully attired one, a man like that, so that some of those 50 girls will choose him. Now what happened there is that all 50 wanted him as the husband. Why only one? 50 girls, charmed by the tremendously handsome form of Saubhari, every one of the 50 daughters chose him as her husband. He is my husband, I am most suitable for him. I am better than all you other 49. So it is, everyone chose him to marry. Now that is a problem, what to do. It is, there was a discussion long back in a parliament in India. The discussion was going on Hindu Code Bill. A Hindu Code Bill. A very important bill that then got passed, but one objection somebody raised, see, a Hindu, according to this bill, is allowed to marry only once, whereas a Muslim is allowed to marry many times. And there was a well-known Muslim parliamentarian, the one who was taking objection, looked at him. And this Muslim man said, I understand that I am being targeted. Let me clarify. Uh, I have one wife and I am fully satisfied with her. I cannot handle two. So it is. So one wife for many people would be more than enough to handle. So 50, imagine. It is. But what to do now? And they started quarreling amongst themselves. Saubhari accepted all of them and stopped them from quarreling. Okay, all of you, come on. And then again he put his austerity to work. A master of Rigveda, using his immense power of austerity, created many things that like excellent palaces, bedding, garments, perfumes, whatnot, So it is all that was made there. So it is like that he had then a life with these 50 maidens full of luxury, and here for a lot of time they had many children, now 50 wives, so many children and so many grandchildren. So, and then there was he had performed austerities to realize God. So that impression also was there. So when in an introspective moment, he started seeing this truth that it is but Saubhari soon found that by enjoying every kind of pleasure of this kind of life with great avidity, he could obtain no peace and satisfaction. On the other hand, he found the desire nature only augmented by it, just like fire on which fuel is sprinkled. So it doesn't put out the fire. This is it is self-deception. Oh, unless the desires are satisfied, we will not get the dispassion. So first let me satisfy the desires fully. The desires won't get satisfied. The dispassion comes because you see that they cannot be satisfied. Not because you know that, okay, after certain amount of satisfaction of desires, now the desires will say, okay, enough. No, the desires keep on multiplying because they never ever get satisfied. It is, and that gives rise, there is a very important essay written by Sigmund Freud about how the daydreaming fantasies they become the source of creative writing, that the daydreaming happens. He said daydreaming cannot be stopped. Try, imagine I am stopping daydreaming. You will be daydreaming that I am stopping daydreaming. It will be, it cannot be stopped, and the Sigmund Freud, as I have always noticed and mentioned sometimes, that many of his conclusions were not correct. But one thing is his sweeping capability of generalization, and that too at a deeper level, was immense. So he generalized that they uh, this daydreaming cannot be stopped because the desires cannot be stopped. Desires cannot be stopped, and every desire, what is daydreaming? Because the desire cannot be stopped, desire cannot be satisfied. See what a terrible this, it is like two blades of the scissors, So it is in that we are being cut to pieces. The desire cannot be stopped, desire cannot be fulfilled. It is trying to fulfill a desire gives more desires. So therefore, these desires being product of ignorance, if the ignorance is there, the desire cannot be fulfilled. Okay, when I get knowledge, will they get fulfilled? No, they will get eliminated. You will not have any desire. So, therefore, this desire, as long as these desires are there, desires being not by very nature cannot be fulfilled, so you find a way out. Okay, I will try to fulfill it in dream, means in my just imagination, active imagination. Next Sunday, that is the topic of discussion, active imagination. So, this imagination, daydreaming, the dreaming word is really not, it is a misnomer. There are no dreams. In the dreams, you lose the sight of the non-dream world altogether. In daydreaming, you are aware, of the external world as you see. But still, you are building up some castles in the air. They keep on getting built. And then what happens? It is that it is just a way out that they take that let me. But the daydreaming meets immediate. It doesn't take to fulfill the desire in daydreaming. What in the external world, like you may think that let me become a billionaire. In this world, you may require to put in lot of efforts, take lot of time. But in daydreaming, how long does it take, Jitendra, to become billionaire? 0 seconds, yeah. So you just become a billionaire. So it is. But then this question again comes, what next? What next? And thus you meet a big wall and meet a crash. What is called in psychological language that it is, you get psychospasms. Spasms means in the muscular spasm, the muscle gets stretched when you are doing some work like lifting a heavy weight. Now the muscle gets stretched, but then after the job is done, the muscle gets relaxed. But this relaxing is not happening, and then you feel so much of pain. So similar thing happens with this daydreaming, that you meet a dead end, and thus now all that pent up energy, it doesn't find any further release. So you feel inside the pain of it. So this is how it happens. So this is the daydreaming. This so Saubhari, he started reflecting that what did I do? That is also an imagination. That trying to understand the past and take the lesson to the future. That what did he see? That I could not find the desires getting fulfilled. The one day, while Saubhari, the master of Vedas, was sitting in his house in a reflective mood, the thought came to him how degeneration had overtaken him, that it is with his uncontrolled mind, just one moment one slips and then comes down tumbling. It is you cannot control after the fall. The falling begins. Very difficult. Somebody recently died, some mountaineer fell down from that El Capitan. So it is a very steep climb, and as long as you are holding on and climbing up, you are okay. But some things, foot slips or your hand does not grip the rope properly and slips, and then there is nothing that can save you. You just die there. So similarly, this once you slip, you meet a spiritual death. Means your all the aspirations of leading a spiritual life, they seem to go away, they vanish. So and the desires keep on raging in you. You don't know what to do. There is no peace. You keep on running about here, there. You don't know where. There is no thought at all available now to move forward spiritually. So it is like pouring that fire, pouring fuel to the fire, like that, you see, and gas handle is being released into it. So that is what common misunderstanding is, very common, that this is the desire that is bothering me. Let me fulfill it, and then I will be free from it. Then I can do the sadhana. That is not at all psychologically correct. It keeps on giving rise to more and more desires. So the solution is not to go to enjoy, but to stop, saying that no, it cannot be fulfilled. It only brings more agony in life. We should ask ourselves, do we want more agony in life? More frustrations? That is what the trying to fulfill the desire through enjoyment brings. Of course, there may be, and are not just maybe, there are people who cannot understand this truth. It is only through when they get the kicks, when they get the blows from the desires, then they introspect. That point has to come in life. That look, I went to get enjoyment, I didn't. So now this Saubhari got that. I felt while living submerged in water for the sexual pleasures of fish, and then it completely, that one moment made all my acquired Brahmanic qualities of, you see, restraint, or this practice of uh, thinking of God, all those great qualities, they were all gone. They were not gone as such, but they got uh, submerged under this heap. So now, when he is able to see the drawbacks of it, he is now, those now things again came up. It is very difficult, one gets caught into it. First, one feels that, well, have my responsibilities. Uh, it is told that my parents will feel very unhappy if I do not get married. So, therefore, it is actually a facade, that as if they listen to everything that the parents say. So, but they want some excuse. So, in India, it happens very often. My parents, they are again and again telling that I must get married, so therefore I have to get married. Now, once you get married, then I have to fulfill the responsibilities of married life. That next, I have to, means what? A long list. I have to keep all the family members happy. I have to provide for everybody, my children. I have to see that they grow properly. Okay, my these responsibilities, say, done. Do I get release? No, unless you are very determined to get it. Because then children, grandchildren, and one friend of mine, uh, he was thinking that now soon his both his children will become independent. They will have their own jobs and this and that. So then he can direct all attention to spiritual practices. But then the children, after that came the grandchildren. Now he is so caught in playing with grandchildren. I have to take care of my grandchildren. It is my duty to take care of my grandchildren. And thus the life gets all embroiled into it. He told me, Swami, you don't understand how it is a very different world to keep on playing with grandchildren. It is. So, it is true. It is all this. So many types of bondages one gets into, and there is no end to it. So Saubhari saw 50 wives, so many children, and thousands of all grandchildren, imagine. So, in spite of, with all this thing, he could not feel satisfied and could not get any peace. And so he says that, therefore, a seeker of liberation should completely eschew the company of those who revel in such sexual indulgences. Avoid their company, because you don't know, your mind will prompt you that, oh, let me also have a little bit of it. And I won't indulge much, but then a little bit of it will not be harmful. And what happens then? you are dragged into it. There is no a little bit there. Unless you are completely ruined, all your spiritual attainments are seemingly gone. Seemingly means nothing goes away. They will again come up when you give up this idea of enjoying. So, they should move alone in spite of the problems of staying alone, maybe. But do not mix with people who are not, whose life is on a different track. Their life, nothing wrong, it is after all, they are also propelled by Maya, the ignorance. But you take care not to associate with them. That is very important. Because you want to go on a different track, so there is, you need not go, yeah, okay, they are my friends, okay, bye bye. They are catching the flight to California, I have to catch the flight to Florida. So how can we go in the same flight? So one must remember as a spiritual seeker that it is the temptations and such things come, and so one should be careful that whatever can excite us, because till the ultimate knowledge dawns on us, the tendency is latent there. So one should avoid, therefore, getting it flared up. And there is a little spark there, don't fuel it. So Narada says in his aphorisms on bhakti that dussangah sarvathaiva tyajah. The company not suitable for your spiritual progress, that is the meaning of dussanga. The Swami who taught me this Narada Bhakti Sutras, I used to attend those lectures, and he told, look, it is not kusanga. There is another aphorism about kusanga, but here it is said dussanga. What is difference between dussanga and kusanga? Kusanga means evil company. Dussanga doesn't mean objectively an evil company, but bad for you, because it will hamper your spiritual practice. It is so important, like peanuts are good for so many people, but those allergic to peanut, it is terrible. So dussanga means it is not good for me, and so I must completely avoid it. Like one young boy, he sees that there is no peanut in his food, or even those who are eating peanuts, he avoids touching them also, because even touching them can get it. Even going close to them, that dust of peanuts can get into the system and cause an anaphylactic shock. So therefore, one must remember that those are not bad people, they are good people. Bad means evil people, like those who are liars, cheats, scoundrels, they are different. Their company you will automatically be avoiding. But this company, oh, this is a nice man, this is, very brilliant, intelligent, but no, not good for you. What is getting awakened in you by that company, try to see. And therefore, this is an important thing, that one should not associate with these people. So, he said, so I came to be united thus with 50 wives, and thus became 50. You This is a great fact, friends, that our psychology works like this, that you try to enjoy an object, you become that object. So 50, you became 50 wives. Then later, through children and grandchildren, I have become 5,000, still attracted by the powers of Maya. So many tentacles spread everywhere. I am sticking on to the objects of senses as the be all and end all of life, and I am involved deeply in works that will promote my interest in this life and the next. That is my interest. Means more enjoyments, more money, more. You want more, no, I must keep for my progeny, it is, I must provide for them. So that comes as there's this idea that I have enough to survive, but my uh, children, I should provide for them also. Then for my grandchildren also, it is. And then you can provide, say, even for 7 generations, and then still you will be worried what will happen to the 8th generation. They will have to starve to death. So let me work harder and make provisions for them also. Continuously caught into this. So, and then Parikshit here, that it is finally as he left everything and went to forest, uh, and then his wives also took to what is called Vanaprastha. They also all went to forest. There he observed severe, austere practices that reduced him to bones. Finally, as the symbol of his attaining enlightenment, he offered the sacred fires he maintained as householder into the Atman. That is how one becomes then a sannyasi from the forest dweller, where the life is devoted to practice of austerities and purification. Now the time comes that the purification process has reached a point where now the Atman is seen in everything, and thus that person dissolved everything in the Atman. That's all signs that fire, it is. Those days the householders have to keep fire in the homes, because if they were not the days of matchboxes and where you can quickly light a fire, so a fire is always to be kept in a household, and then with that you can do the cooking and whatever. So sannyasis are prevented from doing that. Not no fire with them, no cooking for them, and so forth. So he dissolved it in the Atman, seeing that Atman alone is everything. Thus, the point here is that the God is our true nature. That never goes away. Howsoever far you may be going from, the mind may wander very far from God, but God is still there, very close to you. You cannot go away from God. You may leave God, but God never leaves us. It is, you may say, no, I don't want to think of God, but still the God is always there with you. So, this truth comes, and as Lord Krishna says, the person becomes devotee. Then what that person has done in the past, forget it. Do not worry about that. That beautiful verse, I think in 9th chapter, apichet suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak sadhureva samantavyah samyak vyavasito hi sah. That a person may have committed a lot of terrible sins and felonies, suduracharo, but now has changed the trend of life, started worshipping or loving God. He has now become a lover of God. So now, by looking at his past, one should not call that fellow a papi or sinner, but sadhureva samantavyah. He should be considered as a holy person, because that has been gone. It is like a cup. If you put poison in that cup, then you will call it cup of poison. Throw the poison, wash the cup, and put milk in it. It will be the cup of what? Poison? Cup of milk. So similarly, a person might have done in past many things, but that should not be the reason for feeling depressed, because this is to be remembered, because many of us think, oh, this life is gone now. I cannot do anything. Some time, this has happened many times, that a devotee said, Swami, this life I don't think I can realize God. Next life I will become a monastic, and then I will try. What a deception, what will happen next life? This idea of how do you know that you will not realize God in this life? You will realize God in this life too. Why not? I mean, why not? Ask this question. I asked that lady, why not? Tell me one reason that you cannot realize God in this life. And how do you guarantee that that reason will be not there in your next life? So strive best. God is right with us, friends. It is, can I say I cannot touch my nose? It is right here. I can touch my nose. I may not be able to touch your nose. You may be far away. But can I not touch my nose? I can touch my nose. Realizing God is simpler than that. It is, don't think in this life it is not possible. Just by this flash, God alone is real. That's it, It is all gone. The poison from that cup is thrown away. The cup is washed. And now you have put nectar in it. So it is cup of nectar. So this is how one should never let oneself down. Let us remember this, that I am divine. I am divine. What, Charlie? What are you? Always maintain this. I am divine. So let us, he sees this, he reflected on what he was, and alas, what he became. From a holy life of austerity and dedication, of deep knowledge and purity, of profound peace, of desirelessness, he has degraded into burning grief just by slipping into what was seemingly a small, simple desire. There is a scriptural statement, Tarangopi samudrayate. It is maybe a small ripple, but behind that small ripple is the ocean. So it can become big. So a small temptation can result in a big fall. So it is like that. So let us conclude with this closing theme. Next, we will take up other these descendants of Mandhata. There are many beautiful stories, especially interesting that will come is the Sagar, King Sagar and his 60,000 sons. I used to listen to that story with great interest in childhood from my grandmother. So let us chant this, and after that, if you have any question, please feel free to voice them or type them. Nigamakkalpatarurgalitam phalam शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका bhuvi bhavukaः. O devotees, quaff, quaff to intoxication this nectar of the fruit of the tree of Vedas, flowing from the mouth of the great sage Shuka and mixed with the ambrosia from his words. Any question? That Raji has a question. This Raji, there are two Rajis, you know.
Pranam Maharaj.
Pranam, pranam.
So from the story, it seems like a spiritual aspirant can only take precautionary measures, but when that decline happens, they have no control. Is there anything that they can do to stop the decline?
It is. Can the decline be stopped? It is very, very difficult. I don't say impossible. But how much chance is it that a person falling from the height, free fall from the El Capitan will stop that fall? Very feeble chance, almost none. How much chance there is? That other example that Shankaracharya gives, if you drop a ball, rubber ball, from the height of on a staircase, top of the staircase, and then after it gains momentum, how much chance do you have to run and stop that ball? Almost none. So it is very difficult, and yet one imagines, let me indulge just a little bit, let me have some pleasure, I will catch myself in time before it becomes a complete fall. That is again an attack of Maya. Our teacher used to say that these are attacks of Maya. That, okay, let me have a little pleasure and I will control myself in time. This thought itself shows that you are not able to control. If you can control, why don't you control now? It is not a good idea. There may be some examples that very rare somebody could control, but that is not the mainstream idea. Yeah. Yes, another Raji. All Rajis have questions, it seems.
Pranam Maharaj.
Yes, Pranam.
I have two questions. One is, we spoke about daydreaming.
Huh?
You spoke about daydreaming.
Yes.
Yeah. So daydreaming is, you also spoke about active imagination.
Yeah.
So active imagination, it happens when we have a desire which is not fulfilled.
We have what?
We have a desire, but if it is not
Yeah.
fulfilled, we kind of actively imagine.
Yeah.
But somewhere I read that meditation is also kind of an active imagination.
Yes, you are correct. That is what the topic of Sunday is. That meditation is giving the proper direction to this active imagination instead of daydreaming. The problem with daydreaming, which is not there in meditation, the goal of the daydreaming is an imaginary thing, it is not real. But the goal of this meditation, that kind of active imagination, is real. God is real. So therefore it won't meet that kind of, psychospasm.
And
Good question. Yeah.
One more question, Maharaj. You spoke about trying to fulfill a desire gives rise to other desires. I agree with that. But sometimes you have to fulfill desire of somebody else. Like I had to fulfill the desire of my mom. I had to fulfill the desire of my kid. Like how do we deal with that?
Well, it is, as long as you see that you are not involved in it, you are just doing it for that, without entailing anything to you, that is okay. And that also one should avoid. But if completely unavoidable, just do it only for that. Make sure you are not involved in it. Make sure that it is not that you want to do it, but you are putting it their name on it. It is like I sometimes tell that, oh, would you like to eat ice cream? Because maybe I like to eat ice cream, but I cannot say just bring it to me. So I say, hello, would you like some ice cream? And then that person, if says yes, I am happy because that I will also get with that person. If that person says no, I try to cajole that person to having it. So it is actually my desire I put on somebody else. It is that should not be, an excuse that I am doing it for my mom or my somebody. No. Yeah.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Come. That Andreas has a question.
Pranam, Swamiji. With your example of the mountain climber, it seems, Subari, when he's doing his austerities, it's like he's climbing up the mountain. He has to pay attention, he has to focus, he has to stay, and if he continues on that path, he gets to the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
But if he makes one little mistake, he falls all the way down.
Yeah.
But when he hits the bottom, does he have the same realization that if he would have...
No, it becomes his all ideas of going up gets a rude shock. That no, now I will have to begin all the way over from the beginning. But there is no other way. Okay, you have to begin all the way from the bottom. Begin now. Instead of waiting for it, begin now. Yeah. That is why this is important to keep on holding that I am divine. Yeah. Never let that thought vanish. I am divine. Yeah. Thank you. Anybody upstairs? Okay.
Question from Beverly Collins.
Hi, Beverly.
Is it true that once one is beyond the fifth plane, one will not fall again.
Wh-
Is it true that once one is beyond the fifth plane,
Beyond?
the fifth plane,
Okay.
one will not fall again?
Yes, that is what it is mentioned. And there is a reason behind that. Fifth plane means this hierarchy of the, that various chakras or planes. So, it is the fourth plane is called the heart chakra, where one feels a deep that need to move Godwards. A lot of spiritual practice is done, but there is still the attraction for the world subsists. Now, when one reaches the next fifth plane, then there is still possibility of fall, but very rare. It is one gets a strong foothold there. So there is, it is the fall can still happen, but there is no attraction left in the various names and forms. So it is a rare thing that the fall could happen, but there is still the perception. Like it is, if you throw a stone with escape velocity, it is not likely to return to earth. But still, something may happen and it may get hit by some other meteoroid and may get thrown back on the earth. Who knows? So therefore, there is, Sri Ramakrishna says that there is, now the path is free. You go then to what is called the sixth one, which is shown between the eyebrows. There now you are seeing God and no chance of falling there. But it is, you still have to persist with spiritual practice from the fifth plane to sixth plane. Yeah.
I have one question.
Oh, you have a question?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is the phrase Kshurasya Dhara used in the same context?
Kshurasya Dhara, yes. It is used in the same context, that be very clear that this is a razor's path. Razor like sharp, walking on the razor. So, not very easy. This is not to discourage you, but to make you cautious and move forward, because there is chance of falling. It is very sharp. You may fall here or fall there. This is the two types of fall that happens. One is, you get involved in enjoyments, run towards the enjoyable objects. The other is exactly opposite of that. You start hating the objects. Instead of enjoying, you start hating them, which is a negative form of enjoyment. And thus, because those objects become so real for you, that is, hating them is also equally bad. So, the hating is the other, this thing, negative realism of things, So, let us not have that. So, both these are you go right on the edge of the razor. Right. Okay then. So let us conclude with the closing prayers.
There is one more question, Maharaj.
Oh, one more question. Okay.
From BHM.
What
How
is
can we
the name?
just as BHM.
DHN.
BHM.
Okay.
How can we serve others with Sarvatma Bhava without any distraction, without any distinction?
How can we serve them? Yeah, that it is just as you see that you help yourself, so you see that the same reality is in us, that is in us is in others also. What is here is there. So that is the Sarvatma Bhav. This is, and that automatically prompts you to serve others just as you serve yourself. Just as you feel the hunger of yourself, you start feeling actually the hunger of others. This is an important spiritual practice. Therefore, as Jesus mentions, love thy neighbor as thyself. It is all. Neighbor doesn't mean just one person staying your next door neighbor. No, anybody that meets you, feel that the same self is in that person as well. So this is how one should serve the others. Okay. So let us conclude with the closing chant. The December 6th retreat, the enrollment will be beginning tomorrow, but not tomorrow early morning. There are some new model of enrolling on website, enrolling online is getting tested. So the test will be completed by tomorrow late morning, and from afternoon, means from noon, let us say, it will be open for enrollment. मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल. मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल. हरि हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल. कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल. कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल. मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल. केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल. One more thing. Next Friday, the class will be conducted by our Adi Maharaj, and the topic he has chosen is Avatar, Ishwara Avatar, God incarnation.